Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Full Profits Podcast. I guess we could call this a link up because it started with me and Six. Bro, do you remember 10 years ago when we started talking about doing this and we never did it? Was it 10 or was it longer than 10?
Yeah, it's right around that time.
Yeah, it was about 10
After,
years
it's
ago.
after, it's right around time after we got on Twitter and shit like that, and we were like really just looking at the conversations we was all having together. We're like, we should be recording these conversations and doing the podcast, and it just never really manifested into nothing.
No, it didn't. And I think one of the reasons why it didn't is because there was so much going on with all of us. There was advancement happening for myself and you.
Right.
Smitty was running around doing his shit, doing all the different beat journals and jobs and things that he had going on. So there was so
Right.
much going on that we never really locked in and did it. And I think it was just an idea at the time. Like we didn't sit down and flesh it out completely and go, hey, we should do this. We should have Circa 94 on, we should have a big gathering or this, that, and the third, but we never really fleshed it out. And
No
then
action plans.
yeah, no, we didn't have anything. And then during the pandemic, and as a matter of fact, I was told by a couple other people, Kenyon and to Keon, not Kenyon, because Kenyon will go, I ain't say shit. But Keon told me to jump in and do some shit.
Right.
And I was like, man, you know what? The homie told me that. So that's when I came back. I was like, Six, I'm gonna do it. But I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just gonna throw myself out here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But we here now, man. We having these conversations. And the conversations are really just me, you, the link up, the boxers that I have on here, the different people that we know who have started their own businesses and everything, and we just gonna keep on rocking, man.
Do you remember what your first episode was like that you decided to go green with?
My very first episode was Renata Riddle. Hey, Renata, if you're listening, I don't know if you are. She recently opened up a bar. She told me she was going to open up a bar when I started doing the podcast. The name of the bar is called Nobody's Darling. My first episode was with Renata Riddle. She's she's a great person, a beautiful woman. I love Renata. I saw her recently at a birthday celebration. We were supposed to go to her bar and hang out, but she had other shit going on. She was gonna open it up for us, but we didn't get a chance to connect. I'm still gonna try to make my way out to it, no matter what. It's about time since she opened up. I haven't been there yet, but I've had shit going on. So that was my first episode. It was an episode I loved. I went back and listened to it over and over and over and over and over again before I decided to put it out, I think. And then I put it out just on good faith because of the conversation was just normal between me and her. Me and her were just having a talk, and like we normally do. Renata's, excuse me for burping. Renata is like me in so many ways. She likes what I like. You know what I mean? She likes women. So we laugh, we talk about shit that we got going on. And she likes really nice women, and I do too. So
Right.
we've always had that common denominator, and not just that, but finance. And I can be cheap at times, where I used to be a guy who would just go out and spend money on wild crazy shit that I didn't need. And now you see me sitting back, minding my business. I really going out here buying a bunch of shit, but preparing myself for the future and shit like that. But
what was the turning point? What changed?
What the turning point of what?
That kind of made you make that shift and focus.
Talking to Renata here and there, but there was another friend of mine who worked at the bank, who works in finance as well. You talking about financially, right?
Right.
Yeah. So he was just telling me about investment properties. He was telling me about bonds. I should get into bonds and things like that. And I was like, what? And he was just telling me these things. So he sat me down one day and he showed me this list of stuff that I should get into. And he was like, you make this much money, or do you make this much money? So he started asking me these questions, and he just pulled up all my shit, like how all my finance comes to the bank, and then all of those the shit I do on the side, the music and everything. He's like, you can use this for this, this for this, and this for this. And I just started participating. You know what I mean? I just started telling him, hey, help me do this, help me do that. And he said, yeah, you can use these bonds right here, set up a Roth IRA over here. You can get with some people over here that I know, and they can tell you about investment properties, or you should get with a team of people that you know, and get together and have investment properties and shit like that. So that was the biggest turning point. That was like 30s, early 30s, mid 30s, or some shit like that, where I started getting the game and realizing. But coming from where we come from, when I took it back to people, didn't nobody really know what the fuck I was talking about. So I always felt alone.
But I mean, you know what? I was going to say that. The thing is, the difference is though, is how information is.